All right. Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We're going to be going through live order flow and hunting for opportunities. We understand the behavior of traders in the order flow visualized by Bookmap, and then look for an opportunity. Behavior. That's our goal in here, so that you understand how to read order flow and then use it for your trading. If we see a good opportunity, we'll take it. It will be in sim or demo paper trading mode. We do this so that it's not a trading room, it's not a trade calling room whatsoever. It's about reading order flow, applying criteria to the setup, why we got into the trade, but then also how to manage the trade. And that's really an important part once you are in a trade. So we're going to go through that and how to use order flow to manage it as well. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's see here. We're at all-time highs in the S&P. We're looking at the S&P E-mini here, and this version of the S&P up here is using the Trader Map Pro filter for the heat map. And if you have any questions on that, I can go through it. But here's what the regular S&P looks like, and it is precisely this player or players in here that came in just around 8 a.m. East Coast time here. And look at that liquidity here on the offer, on the bid, and this kind of halo effect around the current price action. They're just following along, and then at certain points they'll stay in the market and trade. You can kind of see some of that here, and you can kind of see some of that in here, it looks like to me. So they're on the offer, getting filled in some of these areas in here. All right, and that's one way to read it. But what we can do though with the Trader Map Pro, since this is market by order data, we offer a filter, and we can filter out that information. You can kind of see remnants of it in here. It is just very short-term high liquidity that we're able to filter out of the picture. And therefore it leaves us with that longer-term high liquidity that stays in the order book. And that's what we want to understand. We want to understand the relationship between these traders who have intent to trade and how it affects the price action. All right. So let's take a big step back and get our bigger picture bearings in here. I mean, we're at all-time highs, and let's take a look at the chart here. All right, so we can see the daily chart over here on the left, and beautiful move in here. Very, very strong price action to the upside, and then several days of back and forth, and then we see the continuation to the upside in here. Guys, this is your flag pattern on your higher time frame, no question. Now, again, flag pattern or head and shoulders pattern, whatever it is you want to call it, people can call it 1, 2, 3 pattern. I don't care what you want to call it. If we want to understand the order flow and why these patterns work in here, because they repeat again and again and again. Reason being is that it is due to the participants' behavior, which is, as we know, if we drill it down, boil it down to exactly what it is orders that make up this action. It is the transactions of orders that make up the volume. Therefore, we want to understand this activity here on all time frames to look for opportunities. Right, so we know that a lot of bulls are in, and price continues to drive higher. Beautiful flag pattern in here too, with you have your consolidation, your breakout, here's your pullback, and then your breakout again to the upside. All right, so in fact, it looks like we're kind of meeting some measured moves in here. Where is price going to go? At all-time highs, how do you gauge this? Well, there's a number of factors to take a look at. One, it would be your average true range. How much are people willing to continue to buy for before they start to exhaust? And we need to kind of take a rest or find some sellers or find some profit takers. We'll look for that order flow. We can see a little bit of it here, in fact. In fact, it's done a really nice move in here. We're just going to kind of, it's not going to be the most precise ATR way of looking at it, but we can just kind of understand the breadth of some of these moves in here. And this will give us insight to what's happening up here. Okay, we can also look at whole numbers. Where's like 55 or 5600? It is right in here. Let's see, right here. Yeah, and then what's this number here? Well, that's 10. We bounced off of that. We found some support there, and we've continued higher. And also levels of high liquidity. Okay, where are the sellers on the offer? Well, some traded in here, and we look for more. Okay, so we have another whole number up here, 5650, and then also you can see liquidity in here at 5640 up here. All right. So anyway, as the week unfolds here, we have a lot of data coming out. Usually the first couple of weeks of the month is the most, and then it kind of tapers off later in the month. So we have here in the US, well, on Wednesday we have Fed Chair Speaker Powell testifying at 10 a.m. Then we have let's see here. Yeah, we have some other he's actually testifying tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday at 10. And then let's see, we have CPI data on Thursday. Just going through kind of the bigger events. And then we also have PPI on Friday. Okay, that's pretty much the gist of it. But those are huge events, and we definitely want to keep an eye out at those numbers. The non-farm was good last week, but less than expected, and you can see that we're still going to all-time highs. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Caesar bank reports on Friday. Yeah, and then Mag 7 earnings the following week. Yeah. Let's see here. The thing else I kind of missed in here. No, I think that's about it. But yeah, thanks, Caesar. So yeah, tracking the earnings is going to be super important, as we know. Let's see here, Trader or Alois. This guy's setting TraderMap Pro to filter. Okay. Yeah, order flow change, order change filter, but then not changed is what you're looking for. We can demo that again if you like. All right, and let's see here. Okay, no questions over in YouTube land, so let's continue on. All right, and continue to look here at the order flow. Yeah, you guys can see in here what's kind of unfolded so far on at least this chart here, not filtered, with the bands intact here. So, but we can see the little shift in here below this swing, and you can see how we have accepted below here, but now we get buyers coming back in, right? And we have a lot of sellers in here that would be, they're gonna really feel the heat if we can get these buyers in here, and we should get a nice kind of short squeeze to the upside. Okay, but anyway, that's just something we're identifying at the moment here. Okay, this might be just a false breakout, and then we get a lot of, if we get a lot of sellers in here, then we can look for the a potential opportunity to the bottom of the range, or maybe even more here. Let's see if we get this here, and it's right around in here where I'd be looking for that. All right, now it rejected here. Now the other question is, do we start to get buyers back up here? If we do, then we're looking for the breakout to the upside. You can see how important in this case here, this most traded level is right here, the point of control. Right, so we're looking for traders to break away from that, and it's going to be on strong volume. Okay, there's our buyers. Okay, now we can take a shot at this here to the upside. We already got a bit of a pullback here, but we'd look for these buyers. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I want to show you guys, and I want to demo a new tool that you have access to now, the multi-bracket in Sim here. Hold on. Okay, we can allow for this. You all have access to this, but you will need to say, I accept the risks, even though it is, this one is in demo. Okay, so you can put in the number of ticks, and we can have in three trades or more. Depends on what you want. Let's just we'll get rid of actually all of them here, and we'll start afresh here. All right, so I'm going to add a take profit here in ticks, and then the size. And then we're going to add another one here to match it on the other side, right? So we're going to put in take profit of 20, and then the size of 1, stop loss of 10, and then let's add another one. Okay, so here we'll add, let's add 25 or maybe 15. Let's do 15, and then we're going to add another one over here. And we're going to, let's add 11, that's fine, maybe 12. And then we'll add one more in here. Okay, so we'll put in, let's put in a profit of 25 or 30. Let's put in 30, and we'll add another one in here. And yeah, we can put in maybe 14. Okay, so we're gonna have scale ins and scale outs here. Yeah, we're all set to go. So we can save it, and now if I take a trade, let's look for the opportunity in here. Okay, we're looking for a buy. Okay, so note now this, I have selected in here 3 from that trader, that multi brackets. Okay, so now the multi brackets in here, since I'm demoing this kind of on the fly here for you guys, it's a new tool. It's pretty straightforward. Let's see if we can get hooked into this trade here. And again, this is just for demo purposes. All right. In fact, I don't know if this is a good setup or not. Boy, I would like it right now if we do get a buyers back up above, though, because look at that selling here. These sellers in here are going to feel the pain if we get buyers back up above it here. Okay, so anyway, that's our plan. This multi-bracket here in Sim, it overrides the trader or the trade control panel right now. Just so you know that. But you can still use the flatten or cancel buttons in here. All right. Good morning, Peter. All right, let's see if we get a rejection down here. And let's see if we get back up above. Okay, and then our idea is still on here. But to me, it looks like our secondary idea was the push through here by the sellers, and that's through that point of control. And this is kind of what we were looking for here. And we've already kind of come back and retested, didn't find buyers. So sellers are going to take this. Yeah, there they go. They're going to take it. Yeah, this would have been the pullback here to your kind of point of control-ish area. That should be a huge stop run. It is. All right, let's see what else. Where else are we going on this here? In the bigger picture here. So our 15-minute chart just coming back down into where it kind of broke out above this swing here. So likely to find some buyers in here. All right, let's take a look at the order flow and watch and look for it here. Okay, we can still maybe get that example and move it back to point of control in here after retesting down here. Okay. Yeah, Caesar, I recall that this behavior in here in the ES like some years back as well. It was short-lived, like you mentioned, but yeah, it seems to be a little bit longer term in here right now. And the NQ's had it for quite a while. And let's cancel this one here. Look for reset and just look for the next one, next opportunity. All right, let's see if there's any other questions in here at the moment. Yeah, for those of you kind of unfamiliar with the format in here, we'll go through anything you want to go through in any market, but again, the focus here is about understanding order flow and really drilling down and deriving the pure essence of what the market is and how the markets work. Like for example, in here, high liquidity. These are buyers. The red dots, these are market sell orders. The heat map is showing the limit buy orders. And here's this context between the price action and the transactions and the liquidity. Okay, so this is where the buyers are, and do we have interested sellers hitting into this? And we had a little bit here, a little bit, not much. Okay, do we find some more? If we find sellers here at this 27 3/4 level, I bet they will trade down to 27 here. Okay, now you can see the reaction that all of a sudden we get our buyers now coming in. Okay, so now let's look for where these buyers now trying to take control of this. Where are they going to go with it? Okay, well, they're going to go probably up to here. Okay, and then yeah, we're already kind of missing that opportunity here. Let's give it a shot here. Actually, God, just can't stand missing it. It's too late now. But they're going to trade into this liquidity here, and then we want to see the context and the reaction after this. Okay. Okay, see this that band following up as well. Okay, so this is transacting up here. Now we should probably find some sellers trade it back down now. Okay, they're going to try to take it back down to the bid. lower liquidity on the bid. Okay, and also where these buyers took control here. Okay? I don't see much support at this level right now, but we'll see as we come back down to it here. Is this a buy opportunity? Let's look. All right, so you can see the offer, coming down. So it doesn't look like it. There we go. There's the bid. Okay, so here let's try to let's see if we can get in this here. Okay, so we're in, and let's see if we got our. Now you can see our multi brackets here working, right? What we set up before. Okay, so we have 10, or I'm sorry, 15, 20, and 30 ticks away. Okay, and we also have down here on the we had 10, 12, and 14 ticks for our stops. Okay, now you don't have to stick with these. It just threw in an order of 3, and you have your stops and your take profits. But you can move these around, consolidate them however you like. It's up to you. You're in the trade though, and now you can start to since you have your orders, then it's up to you like how you want to manage this. Okay, so for example, I would look for a move back up to about here, or maybe here. Looks pretty good. So let's put our first take profit up here, and then our second one, let's move it to just here, which is right at or 1 tick below the point of control. Okay, and that's what we're looking for in this trade here, is the move into this level first, take some off, and then we'll reassess. But we have our second at here, just at that point of control. Okay, so now we got to see if these buyers are going to try to take control here, or at least test all of these sellers in here. Okay, so now we're at our entry here, and let's see if we get more buyers here again. Okay, so they're down a little bit lower in here. Okay, so yeah, I'm starting to buy a bit. Boy, not much to shout at here. Shout about. It's a little bit better on the bid here. Now we just need those aggressors up here, and let's see them try to move it back up to this swing here and this liquidity up here with our take profit. Boy, it looks pretty horrible, huh? I mean, this buying up here looks pretty good. I just don't see a whole lot of buying here. The bid looks pretty good, but the offer also is showing some activity here. So let's see if we get more buyers up here. Then we're looking for our move. Okay, looks pretty good. See the buying coming in. Bid here as well. Now we just need a bit more, and then hit the liquidity up here, and that'll be our first take profit. And the sellers aren't having it. All right, so now we made a lower high, and we kind of made an equal low here, just about. Now we're starting to look at the market structure and the volume within it. We're going to manage our trade based off of that. Okay, if we make a lower high and we find exhaustion up here, if we get another retest back up here, then we may cancel this trade. Okay, because we're looking for buyers, right? We're looking for the retest back into these areas here. And if we don't get it and we don't find it in here, we will see more sellers trade back down to these lower levels here. Okay, so let's see if we get it up here. Here's our retest back up here at 30 3/4, and not much. Not much interest up here on the buy side. Not looking good. And then you see our sellers starting to come in. Okay, so based off of that, well, one more retest. Let's see. I was just getting ready to flatten it here, seeing sellers down at this lower edge here. We got one more shot here by the buy side, and a lower high yet again. Okay, they really need to show up here. Okay, else we will flatten this. Yep, gonna flatten it. One more shot. No, not worth it. Okay. All right, and we'll even look for the opposite side here, sell side. All right, so it makes sense. If we don't find those buyers in here, we should find those sellers here, and they should break down to lower levels here. Okay, and let's see if we can get a move back down to here for our first take profit. Okay, possible trap here on our side if we get those buyers back up here again, and then we will exit again. Yeah, looks like it could be a trap here. Not getting too much insight in this little area in here. Now, if we get our buyers here, this is where we got to be careful. Okay, now the trap for this little bit of buying in here, it could be trapped. This is where we got to get our sellers on our follow through. It's right here, third attempt down here. We're starting to find them. They should be able to drop it lower. Okay, target 1 is hit. Let's zoom out here and look at kind of a bigger picture here and start to manage our trade due to the order flow here. Okay, so we have one really strong impulse move here. We have a retest back here, and then we're looking for another pretty strong impulse move again. Now, this is the amount of selling we had that came in last time. So we'd look for something kind of similar, right? And let's see if we can get that in a move here. So and then we'll arrange our take profits based off of this here. So maybe back down to this area here. You can see around this 24 1/4, and there's a swing here as well. I like it. So I'm going to move my stop, or I'm sorry, my take profit to right around here, and I'm looking for this to test. Okay, now I'm not looking for the full move here of this kind of impulse move again. I'm just I want to look for a part of it here and then get out at that area. Okay, so now That's what we're looking for. Let's see if we can get this phase now, this markdown phase, to continue. Okay, we're looking at a continuation trade here. Okay, now, how do we know we're wrong? Okay, let's go through that scenario in here. Due to the order flow, okay, what's going on? We'd be looking for quite a bit of buying back up into here. We're looking for, bigger dots than this up here by the buy side. If we do see that, we will exit the trade, okay? And we'll look for the next opportunity, okay? Because we know that buying is coming up and testing this area of, a lot of trading in here, looking at the profile, okay? So if we do get those buyers up in here, they have the potential to move it higher, right? Right now, though, we're going to go with this continuation move here. Hey, well, let's also consolidate our stops. I'll just drop one on the other, left click, hold, and drop it, and there we go. Has anyone played around with this new, you guys have it, you have access to it, it's free, and if you just have the global version, you can still trade in sim. As you can see, I'm in sim down here in the lower left hand corner, play around with this, and then get, you can also trade it in your live account. Okay. All right, so our second take profit has been hit, and then we're still looking for a continuation. Now, this is our runner right now, but where are we looking for this to go? Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit more. I really like this area right here. This is where we broke out from. We have high liquidity in here, even with Trader Map, or not looking at Trader Map Pro. Okay, so in fact, I would be looking for moving this just a little bit higher, maybe to about here. Okay, and then I would be out of the trade at that point. All right. Okay, again, that's just and let's move our stop down now as well. Now, we're not going to move it down to break even, but we're going to move it down to a place where we are going to be wrong. I would say I still like it up here, but we can maybe move it a little bit lower here. We're looking for a retest to this area here, and then for it to curl around and come back down again. All right, let's put some market structure on this as well. Let me know if any questions you guys have. Happy to answer. If this is a loss or a gain, we're going to go through our criteria and our trade management criteria as well. Because there's going to be losses. This one's a gain. Boy, I've had, last Friday was had a couple of losses, had a couple of gains before the market, and then a couple of losses that pretty much wiped out my gains. Some other days I had some losses as well. And then today, so far, we're off to a pretty good start. But it is not about the profit and loss again. It is about the process here, going through a mechanical or objective process in here, and then managing the risk. Okay, so like right now, we're getting this retest back up to here. Okay, and this was what we were looking for, a retest back up to here. Now, are we ready for a reversal? Well, I don't see it yet. I do see some buying coming in up here, but the market structure is still sell side here. Okay, so let's see if we see a bit more selling in here. And if we do, in fact, we could even you know, jump back into this again. Okay, now note, if I jump back into this right now, it'll be for another 3 contracts, right? Look at the, it's green up here. This means that my multi-brackets is open, and it's all configured and ready to go. Okay, so I want to disable it here. If I do that, then I come back in here and I would just be trading 1 contract, okay, or whatever, 5, 6 contracts, whatever you want to put in here. Okay, now we can also put in bracketed orders now too. Okay, so 1 order, take profit of 20, stop loss of 10. Okay, let's take a look at our TraderMap Pro. One of the things I've been looking at for TraderMap Pro as well has been, well, pop it out here. You can double click on this. You can drag and drop it out of the tabbed version here, and we can put it here so we can get quick access to it. Right, so here we'll go jump back to the ES here in the tabs, and then we'll look at Market Pulse. I'm sorry, TraderMap Pro in here. Okay. Okay, so some liquidity just traded in here, and then starting to see some little bit of selling starting to come in, but not a whole lot. Let's take a look at our bigger picture again. We kind of bounced off of this here, and then we came back up. And then we have traded back. Well, we traded back down, and here's another bounce in here. So traded down, pullback, traded down, in our pullback here. Okay, we're still remaining sell side though. Okay, until we see something different. Hello, Malak. Welcome. Yeah, Malak, I uploaded one of your videos and your content onto Insights, Bookmap Insights. Here, let me show you. You go to bookmap.com and then click on More under Community Insights here. Here you go, right here. Right, so your 2-minute video is in here. Nice, nicely done. Yeah, good stuff.
Shlomo, I'm gonna do.
All right, guys, let's see if those sellers starting to come in. Let's see if we get our continuation move here. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the move back down to, well, the swing for sure, but I think we can get a little bit lower. I really like this large liquidity that was filled here. And we're front running a little bit in front of this swing right here. Okay, just in front of it or right around it. Okay, so that's where we're looking for the test. Now, this move we've seen so many times in here. We've seen this, impulse move, this pullback, another impulse move. Now, we want to see follow through. We want to see the low broken here. Because if we don't, we can have a double bottom in here and we might have a reversal. Okay, this happens a lot, especially in a really strongly trending market, which we have. I mean, this trend to the upside is amazing. Maybe it's this gap fill in here. Like, yeah, that's another thing to take a look at here. I had regular trading hours on there. Sorry, guys. Reduce the candles in here now. No. Okay. So the gap's still down here, around 56.20. Oh yeah, Malak, it's great content, so keep pushing. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, well, one of the things too, like we're still remaining sell side in this time frame in here for the various reasons we've already covered in terms of criteria, trade criteria. But when we start to look for the potential reversal in here, what we're looking for is this transition, and the dots and the colors in here can be really helpful to give that. But we're also looking at the bars in here. These are delta volume bars down here, and it very clearly can show you that transition taking place as well. And right now I don't see it, but that's why we're still sell side in here. But we'll see if it unfolds here. But right now there's no reason to not uh, uh, not change our criteria, or our criteria doesn't change, but change our idea in here. There's not criteria to change our idea. Okay, let's go through this process again now. This was a measured move in here, right? And we made another one right here, and it's actually pretty equal to the first one here, right? So that's pretty bull or bearish. Even though we see this buying starting to come in and it's testing this trend line in here, this is pretty bearish in here. And why I mean, or why I say that, is a lot of times what you'll get is kind of a diminishing move over time. So the big move happens here, the strong consistent move. The next one is a little less strong, and the next one maybe you start to see those pockets of buyers coming in here, or like in here right now, and then you see less sellers. Maybe it's going to be half of this move in here. Okay, so let's take a look at it, and let's make another line in here, okay, equal to this one. And let's see here. Can we get that move? Okay, so look at the buying. Now that transition is, you can see it starting to take place here. And we also see that the sellers, they came back down to this area where that buying came in, and we see more buyers now. Okay, we're still remaining though sell side until we see something different. Okay, we just see some buyers coming in. Okay, so our take profit down here matches pretty well to the measured move in here. And now what's half of that move look like though? Let's cover that. So it would be something like this, right? Right. So and yeah, it's kind of already done that that move, about half of it. But this is where we never know if all of a sudden we just might get a tremendous amount of buying and it pops up and stops us out on the third contract here. But right now, the market structure, it has not broken it. We do see a lot of buying coming in, but it has not broken the structure, right? So We're sticking with the market structure here. And this is where it gets funny here, because like you know, we're trying to play the probabilities, and we're looking at the behavior of the traders and then starting to make decisions based off of those, by understanding the order flow and their decisions here. Okay? We never know what's going to happen. That's anything can happen at any time. All of a sudden, you know, a larger player might come in here and just sweep the book higher, and that kicks off the whole move. Okay. In general, though, this is what we've seen is no, we get pockets like this, we get continuation to the downside, and then we get another move back up into this pocket of buying, and then we get our reversal. Okay? And that would be kind of like your head and shoulders, right? So that's why we're sticking sell side here still. Okay, the structure has not, we're not getting buyers up here, we're getting them down here. Okay, but my point is, we never know, but we're going to stick with what we do know. Okay, and we'll protect ourselves from what we don't know. And that'll be our risk management. Nick, if MBO tracks iceberg orders and user IDs, well, it's only the IDs of those icebergs, and they're not exactly um, uh, the IDs. It's a new ID for an iceberg. Yeah, it does not match with their account or whatever. Only the CME knows that. Yeah, it's a unique tag, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, yeah. I think it might be clear if we take a quick look here. CME MBO, and then you can read about it here. Yeah, the order ID tags, iceberg order IDs here. So yeah, take a look in here. That might answer your question. You can see your double distribution profile in here, and we're kind of testing the lower end of the profile here. I'm still looking for like kind of a squeeze, long squeeze, and a big stop run into our level here. And we have plenty of buyers in here that are just going to get, hurt if we get the squeeze lower here. You can see our trend line is being tested or broken here. You know, it did break that market structure, but here, um, let me put another one in here. Okay, so just this one here in the middle. Okay, but the swings have not broken. There's still sell side here. All right. Well, anyway, and note this is what we, you know, we can start to anticipate what this might look like, and that this can be like your head and shoulders pattern. As you know, you get the strong move, another move, a slightly lower low again, but it's still moving lower, but pockets of buying coming in, and then the transition we're talking about is buyers coming back into auction at this area again, and that's where your next shoulder will come in on the right hand side here for your inverse head and shoulders. And we're going to look for that. We'll see if we get it. But right now we're still looking for another push lower, and there's still, we haven't seen enough buyers, you know, back up into some of these swings yet. Another thing to look for in these moves, like look at this one here. This one's really nice. This was the first impulse move, and very strong, consistent selling. Now a lot of it stops in here as well, but that's okay. As long as we don't get buyers on the other side, and it accepts lower like this, it's a nice, big, strong, consistent move. We want to see that. And again, this one's not bad in here either. However, note down here though, right? The majority of the selling took place down here, and we can see the stop run here, kind of from here on down, right? So once we start to see that, and you start to see at the kind of really at the lows here is where you're getting your selling, then it starts to look different. We have the potential for a trap down here. Or a move away from that area if there wasn't really strong, consistent selling through that area. Okay, so look for that in your moves. It's not just the moves themselves, it's the transactions within the move that can really add clarity here. Okay, note how we're getting buyers back up into this little swing here. So the next test is up here. Okay, and if we get our buyers up here, then we'll consider exiting here. Okay, see how that transition is like it's starting to kind of unfold here now a bit. Okay, and market structure is being tested here. And now we haven't made it through it, but we're back up here and we're finding our buyers. Okay, buyers back up at this same level here. Okay, now where are the sellers? Okay, where do we see the sellers in here? It's not a whole lot in here, and very little in here so far. They need to show up. We need to see them around this 26 level, maybe even a little bit lower here, and then this is where they can really pick it up here for the squeeze lower. Okay, else, like if we exhaust out here by that sell side, you see buyers come back in, we'll reconsider the management here. Is this making sense? Trying to be really clear with the criteria and the order flow, and then also the trade management. And just stick to our guns here, stick to our rules. Try not to be shaken out. Right? If the market's telling us something different, then yeah, we're gonna exit. We're finding buyers now. Okay, and we're finding more buyers up here. Okay, so I'm gonna flatten it, right? I'm gonna get out. Okay, now we just traded in a little bit of liquidity here as well. We might get a little back and forth in here, but we're finding buyers now up here, and now we've broken the market structure. So this is kind of a weird, kind of head and shoulders, or I don't know. Maybe this is the kind of a donkey anchit trade. It's not quite, but some sort of variation of it. If he's looking for hits to the bottom, hits the bottom, hits the bottom, and then like a strong move on the by the buy side here. Yeah, we'll see here. Okay, so far looks like we made a good decision. In fact, we could have reversed off of that, but I don't have quite enough criteria in here for that buy side at this time. Let's jump over to our Trader Map Pro though and take a look. Hold on a minute, it's over here. Whoops, not that one, this one. Okay, so Trader Map Pro traded into this liquidity and traded to the next level up here. So and that's it so far. It looks like they pulled. Let's take a look at our higher time frame for a second. Okay, so what did we do? We kind of filled the gap in here and started to find some buyers. Okay, to me, this doesn't look like it's really kind of changed around yet either, but we'll see. Maybe it needs to kind of go back and forth here a little bit and then find more buyers and come back up to the all-time highs. I want to take a look at gold. Yeah, sure. I also want to cover the footprint chart. We've released a new footprint chart, and you can see it on here, but we can go through a lot of different configurations for your use case scenarios in here, and how I came up with this chart here. Okay, but let's add gold in for now. we'll look at is it the August contract here? Hold on a minute. Which is the current contract? Yeah, looks like it's the August by far. Okay. Okay, it looks like gold's trading down just kind of all over the place in terms of liquidity, but let's add a little bit more data in here. Trying to trade down to this 2380 level here, this liquidity in here. Yeah, pretty back and forth. Yeah, not really seeing a whole lot in gold here at the moment. But I would look for it to trade into this liquidity here, basically. CVD, we see tons of buying coming in. Big divergence there in the buying. And yet price is being held down. All right, guys, so let's take a look at this here. So we were looking for where the sellers came in. We were looking up here and we're trying to, we even put an order in looking for the buy side here. And if we were going to get it or not. And we covered this whole scenario in here. What happened was we're looking for either above the point of control in here, or this most traded area in here. Looking at the order flow, we noted a lot of sellers in here, also some buyers, and we're looking for the short squeeze up here. And then we started to note that nope, couldn't get it. We're not getting our buyers. We're starting to get our sellers here, looking to see for them then to trade into kind of the POC here and through it, or is it going to bounce off of POC and then continue to the upside? And we got our answer in here. We got our beautiful little pullback in here, and then more sellers here. That's where we're pretty sure we're looking for this to go lower. And we got a nice move lower, and then we see the retracement back up into these little levels here. And that's where, what did we do in here? Oh, I can't recall exactly. Well, this was our sell. Oh God, I can't recall. I know we use the trader map or the multi-brackets tool, and it looks like it was here, but that was a buy. Okay, well anyway, we know we sold in here, and we see our sells in here. First one hit, second one hit, third one did not hit, and we got kind of this reversal unfolding here. Okay, so in fact, if that is the case in here, we could look for, we should get a move back up at least to this swing in here, right? Makes sense. So let's go for it, and get a bit of a pullback here. Okay. And let's see if actually we can get in maybe two. We get a little more confirmation here. There we go. Okay. And we can just scalp it up to the top here, just the top of the range, and then we'll reduce some of the risk there. we can get that. That's the idea. Okay, our transition is taking place here from sell side to buy side, so that's our idea. And where are we wrong? Well, if we see sellers back down here around 28, then we'll reconsider this. Okay, how's our Trader Map Pro look? Let's take a look at that. Yeah, not a bad idea. Okay, so 30 is up here. Where's our order? Right at 30. Maybe we'll front run that just one tick. All right, so we nice uh, little cluster of buying up here. You can see the squeeze unfolding here. Now let's cover, so where are we wrong on this one? Well, I think we'd be wrong kind of below the this little swing in here. So I kind of like where my stop is right now because I'm looking for buyers to come back in and retrade it back up to here. Right, because here's what it looks like to me is like we're still getting buyers up here. It was different than before where we couldn't, we would get less buying, or they were making lower highs, but up in here they're kind of making equal highs, and we're finding buyers up here. So I'm looking for a move back up here, and then that potential breakout. And we're stopped out. Bummer. Okay, well, I'm still going to look for that same setup, to be honest. This is still true up here, and maybe our stop was a little too tight. Let's see. We can get buyers back up above here, right? This is not the breakdown we're looking for. Yeah, here we go. There we go. All right, let's give this a shot. Okay, back up into the range, and let's see if we can get back up to, we'll take our first take profit up here again at the same level. Okay, again, guys, this is not a trade calling room. This is not a trade recommendation. We're going through a process in here for understanding order flow and then potential um, opportunities, and then how to manage those opportunities. Okay, so buyers came back up here again. So now if I get exhaustion here, we can even look for another one, but we're not getting exhaustion yet. Got to get our buyers up here. Okay, we even broke this here. It failed, but it broke it. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it, buyers. The bid, there's a little bit of a bid in here. You can see it's pretty faint. No. Right again, right down to our stop. I'm still looking for this. I've seen this a million times in here. Okay, back up to this cluster here. Okay, there they are on the bid here. Now let's see if we get those buyers back up here again. Yeah, they're starting to buy. Well, sellers, show your strength. If you're going to hit this, hit it. 400, and you can see large lot tracker here, about 300 of those, 400 of those are one individual actor. Okay, on the bid. Okay, there we go. There's our buying again. That's what we're looking for. Now we're looking for them to take it back up, right? We've got a pretty strong bid here, at least one player, and we're starting to find them now after this a couple of drops here, and looking for the move back up to 28 or 29 here, and then continuation. Yeah, this is something to cover in here that makes some pretty good sense to me. Why this order flow kind of played out this way, and maybe a takeaway from something here. And that is like this was we kind of mentioned this earlier. This is kind of an odd pattern. It's an odd transition from sellers to buyers in here, right? Usually we see it, a lot more kind of even, and that's where you get your perfect little head and shoulders. And instead, we found our buyers in here, over here and then here, and they broke structure. That's why we exited. And then we're looking for, okay, well, buyers came in, and then up in here is making good sense. We should get this move higher, and we didn't. But here's a takeaway from it. Is this transition, although we're finding our buyers in here, it still hasn't really kind of swung yet. And we're looking for that. And in fact, it's looking really good in here with these buyers coming in now. In fact, if that is the case, we can even take a shot at that, because now we're looking for that transition to take hold here. We can even add into this here. And then I'm going to move one of the take profits down to about here. I'm looking for the move back up to this cluster here. Okay. Now, if I start to see there's a lot of buying coming in, then I'll move the take profit, and we can look at some of these other areas as well. In fact, let's move this one up here. Okay, makes sense now. I mean, if we kind of quickly reflect off of the a couple of losses in here and what's going on. Right, so adjusting and understanding that this move in here, like it hadn't really quite finished yet, and we noted it earlier as kind of an odd pattern in here, but we're still looking for these buyers to come in. Okay, now we're getting them. Now we're finally getting them, right? And we took a couple shots in here at it and got stopped out. Now, if we reflect off this again, write this down in your book, in your notes. This is a perfect opportunity to add it to your content for your Bookmap Academy. Say, okay, well, I'm going to wait for a more complete pattern. It's not worth taking the risk. Okay, if something looks a little off in here. Now, we have seen this pattern, like Donkey Face, for example. I mentioned him earlier. He's looking for these strong moves away from an area, and then really strong move on the buy side. So strong in here. These kind of buy dots in here, he's looking for them in here. And that's the pattern he's looking for. So kind of like, really 3 hits to the bottom in here, and then the rubber band snaps the other way. You can see what happened in here. This was kind of a partial rubber band snap. It came back again, and now we're getting the rubber band snap. So now we can look for a potential pretty strong move here, and look for, well, we've got our take profits in here. Back up to this swing first, and then this swing up here next. Okay, now we can also, we'll consider moving it when we get up here. And see what it looks like. All right, let me get to some questions here. Okay, yeah, we looked at gold. Thank you. Yeah, you're not talking about the Fed. Okay. Yeah, we already looked at gold. Pang. And yeah, thanks for some of the fundamental stuff in here. Good stuff. Always helpful. Bummer though, we got stopped out right on the tick lows of the of those moves in here, right? That's horrible. Hey, this is trading. This is what happens. You got to just reflect off of this too. Like, I mean, to me, this looks like a pretty good area in here, but we could look at below this swing here. Now we would have been taken out there as well. But is it too low down here? I don't know. I don't know if I want to put that risk on for it. I'd rather just get taken out and look for another opportunity the other way. Okay, like very much like what we did in here, and we had a little bit of help in here with this guy, this larger player who came in. Okay, that helped, and we were watching, and it's like, what's the reaction to this limit buy order here of 461, or a strong bid at 461? And once we started to find those buyers in here, that's when we got in, right? And that's when we're looking for taking it higher. In fact, we got in 3 times there. Okay, so we got our buyers. We got the move back up into just about 30 here. And they're still up here buying. This is a pullback here to where the buyers came in. Okay, so there's still some back and forth in here. There's still some selling, but I think our transition has taken place here. So I'm still looking for buyers to take it back up here. Okay, now if we get them, if we see the order flow in here support it, we can even scale into that. Okay, now just a few notes on that. European close is coming up, and we have some Fed speak, etc., going on in here. So we want to be attentive here. Okay, that European close, God, we traded it last Friday thinking it's the end of the month, end of the week, end of the European session, and nothing happened. Boy, this has been really kind of a slow session, guys. Anyway, it was good to go over the multi brackets, so you can use that in sim. So play around with it and trade from the chart here. It's pretty straightforward to use that multi brackets, and you can see you just need to select it, enable it, and then put in your take profits, your size, and your stop losses and size. That's it. It's really straightforward. And play around with it. I think you guys will enjoy that. And there was we went over Trader Map Pro, but I also wanted to go over Footprint in here. And the way that you can configure yourself a footprint chart. Let's go through it quickly, and we'll see what happens with this setup in here. But yeah, it's just some back and forth in here. But so far, I mean, we're still remaining, buy side here until we see something different. And we don't know what kind of volatility is going to show up here at this time. But anyway, that's our plan, and we're going to stay with it until we see something that rejects that criteria. All right, so footprint. Now, you guys can play around with your footprint charts as well if you have access here. And then I would suggest that you also open up and try this instrument copy. Okay, just click on it here, and then you can add a new one in here with instrument copy. Now I'm coming from the ES. If I click on create, it will create a new one for me here. Okay, so right here. Okay, it's just loading that information. Now I'm gonna close that for now. Okay, because I opened up another one here that I want to show, and we put the footprint chart on that. Now I took off the volume dots, and I just have the liquidity heat map, and I have footprint and delta. and I took off the bars as well. I do have just last transaction here, this gray line in here. And if you guys like this for footprint, then yeah, let's close up the trading for it. Then you can pop this out again and put it into a different monitor, and you've got your footprint chart in here. Okay, now you'll have to configure it the way that you want, and let's do that. Okay, in fact, let me hold on a minute here. Multi brackets on, I don't want that. And let's go to yeah, our horizontal and vertical scaling in here. So you can put in a time interval, reversal, range, or volume. Let's just go with time interval, and it has the scaling in here. Okay, so when I kind of zoom in and out, it will kind of you see how it scales, which I really like this feature. So right now, footprint's reading every half hour here, right? And you can see in here in footprint chart what we were covering for this potential reversal pattern, right? So here's our sell side coming down, sell side, a little bit of that cluster of buying here, right? And then here's our tapered edge and the buying that we saw on the way up, and another cluster of buying up in here so far. Now sellers are starting to push it down, but they're still buying up in here, so we're still looking for that move up into here and find those buyers again, right, on this top edge. Okay, let's look at the deltas as well. So now we're looking at a footprint chart. After I zoomed in, every 5 minutes we're getting a bar. Okay, and I have the liquidity heat map in front of me as well. Now you can also put Trader Map Pro on here as well. Let's do that. Okay, so actually I think it is on here. Cannot create a copy of a copy. Okay. That's fine. So in fact, let's just we'll close this one and we'll put it on our Trader Map Pro. Okay, so here's our Trader Map Pro, and then we're going to just add footprint to this one. Time interval. I don't want it on that. See, if I select the scaling in here, there is no time interval. It's by zoom, right? So which is I think pretty unique. For you classic footprint guys probably won't like it, but I really like it on the heat map here. Okay, and then also I'm going to take off volume dots and bars, and we're going to just look at and we're going to take off best bid and offer. We're going to look at last price and the heat map. Okay, we got the Trader Map Pro heat map, and we're going to look at footprint once it updates here. There we go. Now let's configure it. And go. And I'm going to look at summation. There we go. All right. Okay, so what does footprint tell us in here? All right, well, so far, I mean, the same things we're looking at, we don't see anything different yet. Now, we might get the squeeze here, right here, right? But that's quite a bit of buying in here so far. And it's coming right back down to where we got in, and this larger player in here. So with the footprint chart in here, it's kind of nice to see you got your footprint, you've got your deltas in here. Let me show the deltas as well. Okay, I don't want to see all of them. Let's just look at delta, then show bars. And we can look at maybe sum of all trades. Okay, so here comes the squeeze actually in our trade example. Okay, now these guys might get squeezed as well. So we're looking for it if we can get buyers back up above it here. Okay, down to the swing, and let's see if we get our buyers in here, because boy, these sellers are in trouble if they can get back up above. The buyers are in trouble right now. Right, that's the squeeze. I did not see that squeeze coming. It looked like that transition was completed for me. All right, guys, let's see here. Sure, we got stopped out of that one. Yep. All right, I'm still game though for this. Like if we can get the move back up above here, I will jump back in. And I want to show you the trade journal. There's been some updates to the trade journal, and it's funny. Like so, here are the trades we made today, and then here are the trades I made Friday. Now I just want to show, like, you know, like it's just some pretty bad luck during this webinar, for me at least, on this last few sessions, but traded later in the day and made this back, right? And then so lost this one here, down on these two here, but we'll look at the performance later. So this was Friday, and then here was today, yeah, we'll see how we do. Continue to look for some of these trade ideas and the continuation move in some of these moves here. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I'm still I mean, we're down at 24. We never traded back down here. Maybe that's what we need to do, or this kind of 20 or 18 area, and then maybe we can find our buyers again. But we're at the tapered edge of the profile as well. So we'll see here. If I'm looking to go long, it would be above this high liquidity here, and we gotta find buyers back up above it. And we've tried now 3 times at this one, and we took a partial here. It looks like, is that right? Yeah, and then stopped out on the other 2. Yeah, we took 3 in here. That's right. Yeah, bummer. All right. So let's see if there's any last minute questions here. And yeah, the delta. I like having the delta down here as well, Shark, with the numbers, as pretty nice. Well, at least we didn't get stopped out to the tick this time. We've gone down lower here. Anyway, and let me go back to YouTube and see if there's any questions here. Okay, no, nothing yet. Okay. All right, guys. Well, anyway, good trading. We'll catch up tomorrow. And again, looking for those buyers to step back in here and squeeze these sellers now. The clusters have been pretty good up here. So it did auction up here. It didn't fail here. So I'm looking for a return back up into here. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for coming, everybody. And we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Take care. Bye-bye.